Thanksgiving staple in this week's Science with Sabrina.
It's time for this week's Science with Sabrina, presented by Sylvan Learning.
It's the holiday season, so you're probably cooking up a storm. You could even learn a little science when it comes to food. This week, I'm grabbing cranberries to learn a lesson on buoyancy. Buoyancy is the ability for an object to either float or sink in a fluid. I'm using both fresh and dried cranberries and placing them in regular tap water and a carbonated drink. Let's see what happens. Here's the tap water. Dried cranberries sink. Fresh cranberries float. When I cut open a fresh cranberry, there's air pockets. This allows it to float. The dried cranberries sink to the bottom since they're heavier than the water. It's a simple force in physics, but I can actually change the buoyancy of this object by placing it in this carbonated beverage. Before, the dried fruit was heavy and sunk to the bottom. Watch what happens when I put the dried cranberries in now. You can actually see the dried cranberries dancing. That's because the soda has tiny bubbles of carbon dioxide gas in it. When the bubbles attach to the rough surface of the dried cranberry, it increases the buoyancy. This causes it to rise to the top, but once it gets to the top, the bubbles pop. This causes the cranberry to lose buoyancy and sink. This process continues over and over again until most of the carbon dioxide bubbles escape. Over time, the cranberries will also become too soggy and become too heavy to rise to the surface. Learning about science where you live, I'm 5 News meteorologist Sabrina Bates.
Well, you can
cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. You can actually change the buoyancy of a few different dried fruits too, so you can try it at home and see if you can get a different result.
We always drink sparkling grape juice at Thanksgiving, and I've put pomegranate seeds in it, and it does the same thing.
I was going to say,
bounces
sometimes
up
it
and
does it
down.
to my straw and it goes up my nose instead of my mouth when I'm trying to drink it. Same concept.
At least we know why it's doing it.